What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Tuesday. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an all right week. I do know yesterday was a little bit of a disappointment with the Bakkt futures launch. We did about 71 or 72 Bitcoin, right? And I think the markets are actually kind of responding somewhat to this disappointment. You can see Bitcoin is down almost 3%. Ethereum under $200 again. Litecoin down almost 10%. What happened with Litecoin, guys? So some of these altcoins are actually getting hit even harder than Bitcoin, wiping off some of those gains that we saw over the past week. We saw the altcoins starting to rally. We were asking ourselves, is this alt season? And then it pulled back, and now some of those gains are actually going back into Bitcoin. I do want to talk about the Bitcoin dominance, but you can see right here, we're sitting below 9,600 right now. So we didn't have that massive dump that we were looking for, but really when you kind of look at it, we've been having this sell-off ever since we basically had this peak over here. So it kind of is like a dump, but it's just happening really, really slow, just bleeding over time. But essentially, we're still losing a massive amount of market cap for Bitcoin. So I do want to talk about that moving forward. I also want to talk about the fact that we had something happen to the Bitcoin hash rate. We lost about 50% in a flash crash. So I do want to talk about what that might mean moving forward. Definitely, we're going to talk about the charts short term, but I also want to show you guys how Bitcoin, yes, is still on track for $100,000 potentially by 2021. So there's always something bullish to talk about, even on a red day like today. So if that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if it's your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel and you're not subscribed, well, we do this every single day, so you definitely don't want to miss out. And of course, as most people know, every Monday is the Ledger Nano S giveaway. All you have to do is drop a comment on literally any video throughout the course of the week, and you are eligible. Now, giving this a quick refresh live, you notice that Bitcoin dominance is up to 68.5% on CoinMarketCap, much higher on a lot of the other data aggregators, for example, TradingView or Masari. But scrolling down here, it's pretty much a red day today. In fact, looking at the gainers today, Energy is up 15%, Monacoin, Chainlink, Electroneum, Theta, but with the exception of these few pumps right here, basically all of the coins, all of the altcoins are in the red today. So overall, it's not that great of a day for crypto. And actually, if we look at the 7-day percentage, you notice that a lot of these coins are actually in the red even over the course of the past 7 days, despite the rally that we had previously. So that is basically what we are looking at right now. Having a look over here at Bitcoin dominance over on TradingView, you see they're putting in over 70%, 70.73%, and it looks like it's still going up right now as we speak. Looking at the real volume over at Masari, we do have 807 million. Could we hit $1 billion today? It is possible. I do like to see more volume come in. This is a healthy sign, but nevertheless, we did have the launch of Bakkt yesterday, and we have continued to drop and drop and drop. As you can see, like Alex Kruger said, Bakkt first day volume 71 Bitcoin, CME first day volumes 5,298 Bitcoin. That's a 75x difference. Now, there is something different I do want to point out. CME was cash settled, okay? Whereas Bakkt is physically settled, so you have to actually send the Bitcoin, so it's not exactly the same thing. However, if we have a look at it, it's just abysmal. You cannot deny, by the way, that's Bakkt right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. So yeah, very, very, very low. $0.71 million, whereas you can see over here, first day of trading for these other guys, much larger. So that is the situation moving forward, but let's give it a quick refresh. Where are we at today? 4. We're at 4, guys. 4 Bitcoin. But as Gabor Grbach says over here, while everyone was busy celebrating the legacy futures exchange trading Bitcoin, BitMEX quietly traded 270,000 Bitcoin, equivalent to $2.7 billion in the past 24 hours. So he says, don't underestimate crypto native platforms. And yes, okay, I do understand that there may be something going on with the volume. We know it's been a little bit shady lately, a lot of reports coming out, right? But you could see right here that even when the first gold ETF, came out in 2003, they say there were skeptics, but Benchmark Asset Management had that idea in 2002. It took them 5 years to get the gold ETFs, and now they are massive. In 10 years, we'll probably be looking back on Bitcoin ETFs in the same way. And I know we're not talking about an ETF, but it was on the same topic since we were just talking about Gabor Grbach, who is the strategist over at VanEck ETF. But getting back to the charts, I don't want to talk about that all day. You can see we did respect this level at around the $9,579 level. We did wick up. However, currently we are sitting very, very close to it. We could push lower. We're sitting right on the dotted line right here. This is essentially the uptrend inside of the giant triangle. We are sitting on it. We are pushing lower literally as we speak. So if we do breach this level, the next level of support down here is around the $9,388 level, okay? And below that, you're pretty much talking that $9,100 level. Obviously, looking for a breakout, we'd have to go higher than about $10,200. So that's just the range that we're looking at currently. However, we are still sitting below the 128 MA, and I did point this out how, essentially we stayed above it during the entire 2017 bull run, but currently we are falling below it. You can see we do still have this descending channel. However, we are looking for support, obviously, inside the triangle, clearly. However, for the bearish scenario, just if you want to talk, if we're going to go lower, right, there is a potential chance we could come down here, and if we do breach that $9,000 level, hopefully it'll be supported around $8,000, but there is sort of this ultimate $7,200, please, I hope we don't go any lower kind of level, right? Now, are we going to go down to $7,200? I don't really think so, but if we were, I would think it would be a very fast wick. I think we'd come down into this box and instantly kind of pull up. I don't think we'd stay down there that long. I know what you're saying. Why are we talking about 7,200? Well, the reason I'm talking about this is because, and this is a chart, I never really look at the charts like this, but if we just strip away sort of all of the bars, the candles, the wicks, everything, and just look at essentially what Bitcoin is doing right now, we are sitting at the very bottom of this uptrend that has supported us this entire time. So you can see it is pretty crucial. It is pretty do or die. If Bitcoin falls below, well, then we would essentially be breaking the trend. And one other thing I wanted to point out is ever since we had this peak on August 19th, Bitcoin hasn't even gotten into the top half of the triangle. In fact, we've been pushed down by this purple resistance here. So this is just showing that we are trading tighter and tighter, and Bitcoin is looking for a breakout or breakdown very soon. I mean, we've been talking about this. I can't believe the whales have been able to manipulate it for this long, but we're not surprised that they are trying to milk every last thing out of it. In fact, having a look at the market cipher indicator, which has made some pretty decent calls lately, you can see it put in the green dot. We had our pump. We had the blood diamond dump, double green pump, right? Blood diamond dump. And currently we do have two, green circles. You can call them snake eyes or whatever. Essentially, this would say we could be looking to put in a long, but I do want to just caution you, there is a yellow X which does scream manipulation. So if you are trading with the market cipher, just be careful today because, usually double green would signal we're going to pump to the upside. We probably could. I mean, we are sitting at the bottom of the region, but I just want you guys to just keep in mind that we are putting in the yellow manipulation X. So that's something that you have to sort of take with a grain of salt. But I want to talk about something else why we could also see price declining. Not just the fact that Bakkt was a failure, not a failure, but it was not a great start, right? Also, we do have the SEC and Congress meeting today, I believe. I think it's still on unless it changed, unless something changed between yesterday. But essentially what I'm showing you right here is the green bars represent the last Friday of the month, essentially when the CME futures close contracts, right? That's the end of the contract because they don't trade on weekends, right? And looking right here, the blue, the zone represents the end of the month. So the green is the last Friday and the blue is basically to the end of the month, right? If you have a look, every single time we start to come near the green zone and get into the blue zone, at least in the past 2 months, we have had a sell-off, okay? And we are currently having a sell-off as well. So if history was to repeat itself, of course, it's only been in the past 2 months, we could be looking for for a dip consolidation down here, and we may not see a pump until until basically October, right? The rest of September, we could just see downwards price action. We don't have to. It's not necessary that we have to do that, but looking at what we've done, it is a possibility. But I do want to just point out one thing that's happening right now. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because, not to say that it shouldn't happen in a bear market, but it didn't happen in the previous two bull markets that we had. Excuse me, I meant to say bull market. So basically what I'm highlighting right here is just looking at the monthly. And you can see right here, obviously when we go into the bear trend, we have multiple months of red. We have 3 months of red, 4 months of red, 3 months of red, okay? But as soon as we pivoted right here at the bottom and we wicked down to $164 and we started to pump back up, you notice that during an uptrend, we've never had 3 consecutive red candles on the monthly. You can see right here is the closest we came, and we had 2. And after that, we're lucky if we saw 1. Of course, on the downtrend, we put in multiple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles on the downtrend. Now, currently, we are putting in a red month for September, okay? Now, we have never done this before in a bull trend, and if you do believe that this is the beginning of a bull market, which I certainly do, and a lot of other people out there believe as well, then that should signal that we should not close this month out with a red candle. So essentially, we opened up the month around 9,650, a little higher than that, 9,650. Yeah, 9,650, and we're sitting at around 9,600 even. So we need to at least close above 9,650 at the end of this month at the last candle, or else I'm not too sure. We've never seen Bitcoin have 3 red candles monthly in a bull trend. So let me know what you guys think about that. So that would signal to me that I would say that we wouldn't end this month lower than $9,650. So even if we dip down and we have a crazy wick at some point from now to the end of this month, there's still a good chance. Okay, it doesn't have to happen, but there's a good chance we do end on a green candle for the monthly. But once again, having a look at some of these key levels if we are going to go lower, because a lot of people are being bearish right now. You guys know I'm like a super bull, right? But I don't want people telling me I'm too bullish, so I do want to be realistic here. The next level for the 21 exponential is about 9,371, and if we do breach that, you could see, scrolling here, the other level that supports us a lot during the bull run too also is the 200 moving average on the daily, and that's sitting around $8,450, okay? So those are essentially the levels that we are looking at. But I meant to put this in the video the other day, but this came out from Raoul Pal, and he essentially said Bitcoin is up 15 million% from launch, down 25 million% at peak. This best performing asset in all recorded history, and on a longer term time horizon, it's still very cheap in my opinion. A little bit of a typo, but I think he meant to clearly say this is the best performing asset in all recorded history, which it is, by the way, actually, literally. And just to sort of have a look right here, we may be having a little bit of a tough time. It may be a little bit turbulent, may even be a little bit boring right now, but having a look at the stock to flow model, according to Plan B, which I do always enjoy when he posts these, he says the only prediction I take from the stock to flow model is that the Bitcoin price will be over $100,000 by December of 2021. I did not calculate the exact time, but if Bitcoin is above 100K around that time, it becomes non-stationary. By the way, a prediction is not a guarantee. So the question is, when you're looking at a $10,000 Bitcoin today, and you're looking at a potential $100,000 Bitcoin by 2021, the question is, are you really that impatient to dollar cost average and accumulate? Because just think about the life-changing money, essentially, that could be. And I know a lot of people don't like investing in Bitcoin. They want to invest in these altcoins because the altcoins are going to 100x, right? Okay, they might, but also most of them are still down 90% from the all-time high. Okay, just pointing that out. So that being said, guys, I do want to, not financial advice, guys, whatever, yada, yada, but I do want to talk about this right here. Do you see this? We dropped all the way down to 67 quintillion. which is insanely low. People were freaking out. Why did we have a 50% dump on the hash rate? Well, you can see right here, we actually started to pull back up. It looks like blockchain.com just didn't seem to update as fast as some of the other ones. So CoinDance is already showing that we're well on our way back up. So that's good. So why did this happen? Well, I think people might be freaking out for no reason. What I think happened is it might have been something with the mining pools, where they were like sharing their hash or something like that. Probably something related to that, because it doesn't really make sense. It is normal to see fluctuations. That was a little bit crazy to fall this low. But as you can see, we have had pretty big swings in the past. So even though it is somewhat out of the ordinary, give it a couple days, give it a week, see where it goes, and then I think we'll talk about it. I do think that was a fluke. I think it was an anomaly. I don't think that we should be freaking out, but I do want to talk about some good news, and then let's get on out of here. So we have the digital exchange of the Stuttgart Stock Exchange starting offering Bitcoin yesterday. According to the reports, it's the first regulated trading venue for digital assets in the country and provides direct peer-to-peer trading. So pretty cool. No brokers required, right? According to the reports, the trading won't require them, as traders will interact with the platform directly, kind of like how we're used to trading crypto, which is the way it should be. You shouldn't need to pay a broker or talk, to do something for you. Anyway, they say it's only available to select clients at first, but eventually they will be looping in everyone else. And I do want to point out some pretty bullish news, or some pretty cool news for adoption, I should say. By early 2020, support for Bitcoin payments will be launched at over 25,000 sales points for 30 French retailers, including sportswear giant Decathlon and cosmetics store Sephora. They also have a bunch of other ones in here too, like Foot Locker and stuff. But essentially, the new crypto payment system is launching via a partnership between Global POS, the Easy Wallet application, and payments platform Easy2Play. While payments obviously are going to be made in Bitcoin, we know that, it's going to be converted into dollars. So when you go to the store, the merchant is not going to get Bitcoin. They're going to get dollars. But, hey, it's a start, right? May not be Satoshi's vision, but it's a start. Also, before we go, I just wanted to just mention this real quick. I don't know, is anybody involved in this with the kin and all that with Kik, but basically Kik CEO Ted Livingston essentially sent what they think is a drunken text to a guy named Will. Now they think it was to Kik board member William Mugayer, I believe his name is, but essentially he sent it to the wrong person. Okay, in a misdirected message sent seemingly under the influence of alcohol, he said that he intends to leave the project. He said, Will, I know I've been drinking, but this ain't the drink talking. I am fed up with this. I have my ticket. I am not going to jail for this. So what's up with that? Does anybody know what's going on with that? Let me know in the comments below. And kind of an awkward place to end today, but that's actually all I got. Currently, we're just having a very not very good chart right now. We are dumping. We're trying to push lower. So like I said, guys, I did give you some of those key lower levels. I do think eventually we will have a spring back. We will have, whether it be a dead cat bounce or just a straight V, I think we're going to see one. And if we go to some of those lower levels, I am anticipating there to be a wick. But do I think this is like doom and gloom and we're going to completely change the trend? Certainly hope not, right? But the trend is your friend until the end. And currently we are still obeying an upwards trend. We haven't fallen below these key supports yet, but we'll keep our eyes on it. So that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Obviously, be safe out there. And that's it. Yeah, so if you guys are, want to get the ledger, drop a comment below. I do appreciate you guys supporting the channel by using the referral links below, whether or not that's, checking out Bybit, which is, man, look at this. It's just pushing. We're full on candle right now. Full on candle at 9,525. So yeah, guys, well, that's the situation moving forward. We will have